Finally, after the delay, it's finally here. The new Weezer album, Van Weezer, the album we were supposed to get last year, and we were supposed to just get OK Human this year, but that changed things, or at least COVID changed things, and we got a pretty different album in January with OK Human, where it was more of a album that they didn't rely on the instruments to do the work. Well, I mean, they kind of did, but it wasn't like this at all. Plus, I feel like with OK Human, although a good album, it's more of a certain mood type of album. With Van Weezer, obviously this record is dedicated to the late, great Eddie Van Halen, who passed away last year and was one of Rivers' biggest inspirations when it came to making music, and you can definitely see a lot of classic rock influences flow through here. The album is 10 songs, and it's not really that long. Hero is the longest song on here, and that's the opening track, which was absolutely one of my favorites. It's been one of my favorites since it came out. All of the good ones was nice too, although it did kind of remind me of Beverly Hills on the chorus, because it's got kind of the same guitar lick that goes with it. It was very weird to hear that, but who knows, maybe they decided to pay homage to their own song. The End of the Game, as I mentioned, has been one of my favorites since it's been out. I mean, I just can't get enough of it. Blue Dream was cool. One More Hit, I feel like, was not necessarily the heavy song. Like, when I'm talking heavy, I'm not talking like metalcore heavy, I'm just talking like what heavy would be for like a sound of classic rock and just Weezer in general. I feel like the drums were nice here. The guitar work on this whole album, flawless for the most part, with Rivers Cuomo and Brian Bell, so good on them for making a good pair. She Needs Me was a weird one, but I definitely did like it. It sounds like it's about Rivers' wife, which, you know, hey, cool. It's a love song, but it's a pretty nice love song. Not sappy, not cheesy, just right. And then Precious Meadow Girl is the finisher, which is the one that's more, again, mellow, like an album finisher usually is, to insinuate that the album is ending, thank you for listening, and that does its job there. There was a couple songs that I thought were okay, like Beginning of the End, I don't know. I felt like that just seemed to be right for the Bill and Ted movie soundtrack, but it is what it is. It wasn't a bad song, it's just maybe not one that I would be going back to often from this album. And then we have Sheila Can Do It. It just wasn't one that I was like, when I listened to it, was like, I'm gonna go back to this. The only song I disliked was I Need Some of That. I remember when it came out, I don't know, just felt like there was something off about it, or something missing, like, I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite. Not necessarily saying it's a bad song, it just didn't resonate with me like the other ones did on here. Oh yeah, and by the way, Blue Dream sounds a lot like Crazy Train, although they probably did that intentionally, kind of as like paying homage to Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train, as it did kind of have the same guitar riff as that. So again, though, it's homage to classic rock, so of course they might have thrown in an Ozzy tribute there. There was one lyric on One More Hit, although I like that song, that really just made me cringe, because it's basically the pre-chorus, which is, "Pump it up into me, daddy." I didn't make that up, that's an actual lyric, so that was probably the only moment from this album that I actually, like, cringed, but overall, this is a very easy listening album. It's probably, I mean, I was expecting maybe something a little bit better, but you definitely get that sound of Green and Maladroit mixed together with a little bit of everything that Weezer has done before. It's weird. Someone said that this is like the rock version of Raditude, which, I mean, if Raditude was any good, yeah, I would say so. I mean, I can't disagree, because it definitely does sound like some of the songs do have that kind of, what do I say, flow, rhythm that Raditude does, just in a more rock state. And had Raditude have been this, I don't think we would be, like, looking back at it as probably the worst album that they've ever made, with whatever that was. But yeah, great album. Weezer, 2 for 2 this year. Definitely 2 for 2. Two very listenable albums. And again, after releasing just questionable content after the White Album, or just up and down overall, they've rebounded, as they usually do after they release like 2 or 3 meh to bad albums. They usually come back with something. And trust me, we're not going to be done with Weezer, as next year they plan on having 4 albums out for all 4 seasons of the year, so spring, summer, winter, and fall, not in that order, but that's what they said, which means they're going to be releasing an album once every 3 months next year, so Weezer will be back next year, 4 times. We won't be slowing down with them anytime soon. How have I done more Weezer reviews than Paramore reviews on this channel? It fucking blows my mind. But anyway, this album gets a 7.5 out of 10. Very good listen, would definitely recommend, especially for those of you that are looking for something short and sweet. This is it right here, you know. It might not fully blow you away, but it's basically what you want from Weezer and a little bit more. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this album. If you have heard the album, you can tell me in the comments below, what did you think of it? What are some of your favorite songs, least favorite songs from this project? And until then, stay safe out there, wear your mask, and I will catch you all in the next one.